right. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you taking the time. We're back. Took a week off last week because I was at Dreamforce, which was amazing. Got my new Trailblazer hoodie from Dreamforce on, so it was a great time. I had the opportunity to speak at a couple of sessions and actually did Lorna and I did a Workout Wednesday focused talk, which was really awesome. Had lots of excitement and lots of interest in it, so hopefully we'll be able to get some more users and some more participants every week, so which is really great. So let's dive right in to this week's challenge. So we've got we're doing a spike map. So Luke Stanky's got a kind of a bespoke chart type this week, but it should be really good. We're going to do some data densification, and I assume, I don't know, I haven't really looked at it, but I know that these spikes are really just, they're triangles. So that means that we are likely going to be dealing with some polygon mark types. So we'll be able to do that. So let's take a look at. So we need to go to this Google Drive and download the workbook. So let's go ahead and do that, and we will download. And there it is. And now we'll come over here to Tableau and we'll open a workbook. Go to our downloads. And we'll just open this bad guy right up right here. All right, so we have FIPS, which is, that's the normalized FIP code for county. We have the country, state, and county hierarchy here, and we've got some latitude and longitudes. And additionally, it looks like we've also got points in here. So let's just take a look at what we're dealing with. So if we just bring this county out, and you can see we have a dot for each county. But if we were to duplicate this as a crosstab, let's take a look at what that looks like. So we've got, so here is, and we'll just pick out, yeah, we'll just pick one. So we'll keep only this one. And then if we bring in point here, I'll make this a dimension. There we go. And if we bring that out, you can see that we have 20 points for each county, right? So for each county, we have 20 rows of data. So if we look at this, you can see that this is the number of cases per 100,000 residents. For this, and it looks like that he's already done the dates. He's already done the date filtering, which is great. And you can see that this is repeated in each row, right? So what this is going to allow us to do is use the polygon mark type, and we'll be able to use the points to draw a shape. So this is kind of where, so polygons, if you've never used polygons in Tableau, it's a really awesome mark type that really allows you to draw anything in Tableau, as long as you tell Tableau how to connect the dots, which is really cool. So definitely check it out. Check out other blog posts and videos on the polygon mark type. But let's get started with how we're going to do this, right? So what we need to do is we need to use, and we're going to be doing a spike chart, which is just a triangle, right? So we only need 3 of these. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go up to my menu bar, go to Data, Counties. This is my data source. I'm going to add a data source filter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a data source filter for points. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in 3 points. That's it. I just want 3 points. So that's going to significantly reduce the amount of rows that are going to be brought in here, right? So do that, and now every single county only has 3 rows of data as opposed to 20. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do. First thing that we need to do here is we need to create a. All right. So if we were to make this let's do selected sheets on the other sheet here, and now we'll go over here, and you can see we have 1 point for that, and that's just the latitude longitude, right? But what we actually want is the latitude longitude, and what we're going to do is we're going to explode this out so we have 3 points, right? So let's do let's bring over. There it is. Don't you love it on dual monitors or more than one monitor, and you have Tableau open? You never know where the calculated field window is going to open at, and it's kind of like hide and seek with your calculated dialog windows. So that's always fun. All right, so here we go. Well, let's start building this out, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do. This is the longitude for triangle, right? And this is basically going to be case. And what we need to do is for each point we need to do, right? So make the pyramids 0.2 longitude units wide. So what we're going to do is we're going to do case point when 1, then we know that C long is the longitude minus 0.1. When 2, then C long 10. When 3, then C long plus 0.1, right? Now, let's talk about what this is doing. So what we have here is we have the, so imagine what's going to happen is we're basically exploding this out, right? So right now in this view in Tableau, we just have 1 point for each county. But what we're going to do is we're going to explode this this mark type out. We're going to explode this 1 mark into 3. And what we need to tell Tableau, and we're going to be using the way that we're going to draw this polygon is we're going to tell Tableau to connect the dots between the points, right? So what we need to do is we need to separate out those points into different latitude and longitude. So what we're going to do is we have the longitude, right? So when the point is 1, we want to go from the C long minus 1, right? So if you imagine on a 0 line, minus 1. Whenever it's 2, it's going to be in the middle, right? So that's kind of, you can imagine kind of, again, thinking of a 0 line, that would be 0. And then when you have 0.3, that's going to be plus 1, right? Right? So you have, in total, on the number line, we have 0.2 units, right? So we'll do that. So we'll click OK for that. And then we're just going to duplicate this. However, we've got a few things to do here, right? So that takes care of this bullet point here, right? That takes care of that what we just created takes care of this. Now, we need, because if you think about it, longitude is the horizontal, right? Latitude is the going up and down. And what we want is now we need to draw the height, right? So what we need to do is we need to make the pyramid height to be 1/60th of a latitude unit for every case density, right? So very similar calculation. We're just going to do a little bit of math on the other end, right? So let's think about this for a minute. So let's build this out. So this is going to be the latitude for triangle, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to do, again, case, and we need to think about, we're going to blow these points out, right? So right now, what we've done so far is we've just plotted the horizontal, right? And now we need to draw the vertical. When 1, then C latitude. When 2, then it is going to be the metrics case density divided by 60. When 3, then CLAT 10. Okay, so let's look at this. Let me bump the, there we go. So what we're going to do now is we've got, so now if you kind of imagine what we did is we said, okay, so now whenever the CLAT is 1, we want that actual point, right? Whenever it's 3, we want that actual point. Whenever it's 2, we want to go 1/60th, which is going to make it go up, right? And, oh yeah, point. There we go. Click OK. So now, for this, let's clear this and let's make this latitude. Let's make this longitude. I didn't want to clear that. That's all right. We'll go back a few steps. There we go. So let's just remove everything. Now we'll make these, that's latitude. This is longitude. All right, like this. And change these to dimensions. And we'll put point on there. And we can see that oh, I see what happens. Oh, I forgot something, right? So what's happened? So we're close. You can see we've got 3 points, right? But this is all the way down there because it's just the case. Because what I did is I just did the case. If we look at this again, if we look at the latitude, I just did the case dimension, right? The density divided by 60, which I didn't tie this back to any specific latitude point. So what I need to do here is CLAT 10 plus the product of this calculation, right? Now when I click apply, this dot right here is going to move where it should go, right? So we're taking the density, we're taking the case density, we're going to divide that by 60, and then we're going to add that to whatever the latitude longitude point is, right? You can see these, this is 0.1, this is 0.3, and you can see that they're on the same horizontal plane. You can see here, you can kind of deduce and extrapolate what's going to happen, right? So I'm creating a decimal point by doing a case density divided by 60. I'm going to be creating a fraction, and then I'm going to add that to the middle point, so that's going to go up, right? Bingo! Look at that. So now you can see we have our triangles, right? We have our triangle here. Now, to make it an actual triangle, we're going to change this to a polygon. And right now, Tableau is like, okay, you've switched it to a polygon. I don't know what to do now. But again, remember, a polygon needs to have a dimension on path. You need to tell Tableau how you want to connect those dots. So that's where we just take, instead of point on detail, we just check point to path, and there we go. Right? So now we have that. Now what happens, watch what happens if we've done this correctly. What should happen whenever I remove this county is we should be very close, if not all the way there on this map here. So let's cross our fingers and see what happens. So that did not. What happened? I probably need to add county to detail. There it is. So I needed to add county to detail because right now, right? So let's talk about this. If you're new to polygons, right? All I told Tableau to do was just draw a line between points 1, 2, and 3, right? That is the level of detail of this view, right? The level. So if you were to imagine a what I always like to go back to is the SQL, right? Because that's really all Tableau is Visual SQL. So if we go back and we think about what this is doing, this is basically select point, comma, longitude for triangle, comma, latitude for triangle. That's the query, right? So there is no dimension of county in our query that's coming back. So when we tell Tableau draw a line between points 1, 2, and 3, that's why you get this weird squiggle, right? Is because we don't have a level of detail for Tableau to know where to start and stop those lines. So that's why if we add county to detail, now the query is, select point, comma, county, comma, state, comma, country, comma, longitude, comma, latitude, right? So we've got all those levels of detail in there. And there we go, right? So now, I need to remove Hawaii. Looks like we are taking out Hawaii and because I don't see Hawaii and Alaska in there. So let's do another data source filter. We're going to add a data source filter for country or for state. We'll change it to exclude. And we'll do Hawaii and Alaska. And there we go. Now let's remove our nulls. Or let's look at our nulls. Yep. 15 null values. That's probably of counties that didn't have marks or didn't have cases, right? So if there were no cases for that county, Tableau would not be able to make that height calculation, and it would be null. So we'll just exclude that, and actually we can exclude it or we can hide the indicator. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. So now what we'll do is we'll take our case density here, we'll drag it onto color, and let's see, order the pyramids so that the lowest latitudes sit on top of the marks with lower. Okay, so all right, let's do the color first. So let's do on color, let's do the red gold, and we'll do set the color density, start at 0, middle at 75, end at 200. So we'll go advanced, start at 0, end at 200. Oops, forgot one. And we will this. Okay, why don't I get a reset? There we go. 75, 0, 200. There we go. And we need to change this to red gold. Click apply, and there we go. So we've got 0, 200 with a center of 75. And the last thing we need to do is we need to figure out the sort, right? So order the pyramid so that the lowest latitudes sit on top of the marks with a higher latitude. Okay, so what he's saying is we need, if you're right, so let's go to county. Let's do a sort. Let's do on a field. Actually, it's going to be the latitudes. Okay, you can kind of see it. I doubt it's coming through in the live stream, but if you're doing this with me, if you switch between ascending and descending, you can see some flipping happening. You can see some things shifting in the map. So let's we want to sort ascending, I believe, right? So if we zoom in, let's just zoom in here. So there's one triangle. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Cool. All right, so let's see here. What else do we need to do? Set the color density, map marks, and okay, so the map mark. Okay, so let's do some map formatting here. And we don't want this in the tooltip. We don't want this in the tooltip. Let's see what else. Yeah, we don't need country. So we just have county and state. And we don't need point in there either. Yep, that looks good. That's a good tooltip there. Okay, so let's do our layers here. Map options. Nope, let's not. That's not. I always get layers and options doing that. All right, so let's take out the base. Take out land cover. Let's leave base. Nope, no base. But we need to have state borders. Oh yeah. We are going to remove the names. And dark. Nope, not a dark. Although that does look really cool with the I do really like that. I like how the light kind of does that, but we'll do, yeah, there we go. Country borders. What else? Coastline. There we go. There it is. All right. All right. So I think we've got everything that we need here, and I think that's it. So I'll just throw this on a dashboard and we'll call this good. We'll go to a dashboard. We've got 1,000 by 800. We'll throw our sheet on here. Do that. Hide the title. Format the sheet to get rid of the borders. Yep, there we go. Oh, one more thing. Background layers. We don't need the names. There we go. There we go. All right. So there you go. Bing, bang, boom. Easy peasy. So that's how you can have fun with polygons. Now, what else could we have done with this? I mean, this is just the beginning. We just made triangles, right? But if we wanted to make, I don't know, let's say we wanted to do octagons or hexagons, right? We just kept 3 points, right? So you would just, but if you wanted more points, right? You can really kind of take polygons to another dimension. It's a pretty cool mark type. So definitely have some fun with polygons. Check it out, try it out. It's fun stuff. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you got something out of that. Hope you learned something. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much. Go forth and viz.